JayNJay Show, Power 101. We're back, and as promised, we have Cherie Johnson on the show today. Some of you may know her from Family Matters as Maxine, Laura's friend. Others may know her from her childhood days playing Punky Brewster's best friend, ironically enough, also named Cherie Johnson. But tonight, you're going to get to know the real Cherie Johnson, not her characters, which is, ironically, where the Stupid Guy's Diary came from, right?
Amen, amen. Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that Stupid Guy's Diary.
I'm 39 years old, and people constantly meet me, and the first question is, why are you not married? And I say, how the hell do you get married? When you've grown up on TV and people don't associate you as a person, they associate you with the characters that you played, it makes things really difficult. And I was explaining the story one day, actually to one of my Twitter friends over Twitter, and he was like, you have to be joking, this didn't happen. And I was like, I swear, it just happened right now. I had met a man. I travel a lot, so I met this guy, and he was really nice, and I left to go to North Carolina, and we stayed in touch, like, via Skype and, text message and talking. I was doing a film, and he lived in Virginia. And so he said, 3 months later, I'd like to see you again. Why don't we go to Vegas, and spend the weekend together? So I'm thinking, cool, I've been on location for 3 months. I might actually get some. I call my girl, and I'm like,
I love it.
This is like real talk, right? So I'm like, yo, take me to the mall. I need to come up with something cute. You know what I'm saying? I might get some. She's like, girl, it's been a while. I was like, hell yeah, it's been a while. Because if all you meet is groupies, for guys it's cute. For girls it's a little scary. So I'm like, I finally met this nice guy. I'm telling her all about how fine he is and everything. Long story short, I get my little cute corset and everything. I go to Vegas. It's time to go to bed. This is like the second night that we're there, and I'm like, all right, I held out the first night. Second night, I might give him some, So I go in the bathroom, I get dressed all cute, and I come out, and I get in the bed, and I'm kind of like trying to, look cute, and he looks at me, and he just starts going, da-da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's a rare condition this day and age. And I'm looking at the dude because what he's singing sounds familiar, but I don't really know what it is. Let's face it, I wasn't in the opening credits, and I didn't watch Family Matters. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. So, he keeps singing, and I said, are you singing Family Matters? And he's like, that was my show.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, oh, okay. I go to the
bathroom.
Hey,
this supposed to be killing the mood, man.
Killing the mood? The mood is dead, done, gone. Bye. I go to the bathroom. Shit. I get dressed. I go to the airport. Fuck it.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Hey,
this is like
that is hilarious. That is too funny right there.
It sounds funny and it sounds fake, but this is real. Like, this is the life I live. This other dude I'm dating, right? He plays in the NFL. I think I got me a baller. All black girls like men in the NFL. They got nice bodies. They got a real job with benefits. They kind of bad boys. We like that. So I'm like, oh, he coming in town. Baby, what's your favorite color? He's like, why you asking me about my favorite color? What kind of lingerie you like? He said, oh, man, you don't need to do none of that for me. Just put on your headband.
Punky Brewster and shit? What the fuck?
That's real nasty, yo. Punky Brewster was over by the time I was 12. My nigga, you want me to put on a headband? I don't think so.
That's some semi-pedophile type shit right there.
Right. This pedophile type shit has been going on with me for 32 years. I am 39 years old. I've been working for 32 years, and I cannot find a man who's not a fan. It does not matter.
That wasn't Emmitt Smith, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, cool. I love Emmitt Smith.
It wasn't. But you would think, the funny thing is you would think, oh, okay, he got a big name too. He ain't tripping off her. Nah, dude, because my career started before theirs did.
Yeah. You know what, man? That's actually what I was going to ask you, because I was going to say that with the Everyday Joe's not getting it done, you probably had to date some other celebs just to have some normal conversation. But damn, seems like even the celebrities ain't really seeing you as a regular person. So I will ask you this.
Mm-hmm. Who
is the most famous celeb that you've ever dealt with?
Ooh, I will never tell that. But I can tell you that he's in the music business. And I looked past the fact that when I walked in the studio the first time, he played the Punky Brewster theme song on his keyboard.
Oh, hell no.
Wait a minute. as bad as that is, the fact that you look past it says that this motherfucker was like a real fucking somebody.
You know what?
You were real fucking
it's
into.
not even that. He's a really great guy, and I will say
okay.
I won't put him out there because I really keep my personal life as private as I can. I mean, everybody swears to God they know everybody I ever dated, but they don't know shit. They know like the insignificant people who I might have hugged or kissed. Right. Every time I kiss somebody, I end up, a media takeout that that's my new man and we're engaged and everything. The one that I am talking about actually is the one that purchased the ring that I wear on my finger all the time. We're not together anymore, but yeah, he is like one of my greatest friends in the world and huge love of my life. Really good guy.
All right.
But I won't tell you his name.
All right. Is there anybody that you can speak about? The listeners want to know.
Celebrity-wise that I dated? Yeah, I can speak about any of them. I won't, though.
All right.
That's cool. That's fair.
We didn't sign non-disclosure
after this though, is Keith Sweat one of them?
No, he begged too much. And you know what? I would have dated his wife. Who's the one that he beat that was on Atlanta Housewives?
Oh, damn.
Damn, nigga, Keith Sweat whooping ass over there?
I had no idea Keith Sweat was whooping ass.
Yeah,
no.
Like he's
Keith
supposed to be like...
Keith Sweat was Chris Brown before Chris Brown was Chris Brown?
Right.
Well, I don't know if he went crazy and was biting on her and shit, but...
shit.
He supposedly went there, but Tim Wu is bad.
Wow.
Hey, I didn't realize Sweat was doing all that shit, man.
I know, man. I can't even listen to it. Make it last forever the same again.
That's why he was doing all that simping. He was like, don't leave, baby. Let's make it last forever. I'll whip your ass again.
Hey, note to females, if you ever date Keith Sweat, don't try and leave. That's gonna be what you get.
Bob and weave, baby. Bob and weave.
Right. So Cherie, I kind of want to switch lanes here for a second, go in a different direction real quick. A lot of stuff going on right now in the media, in American society with the cops and black men. A lot of people feel like there's a war on black men with the police, with the Eric Garner situation, the Michael Brown situation, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, the 12-year-old recently who was gunned down by the police in Cleveland. What are your thoughts on some of what's going on right now?
I mean, last year I was all over the news because I got caught in a cotton field. It was like date gone real bad. I ended up in handcuffs myself.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I really believe that it was one of the guys that they think that I date, but the date kind of ended in a cotton field with handcuffs on. Me and Dennis L.A. White were going on vacation in South Carolina. And I never saw cotton before, so I wanted to take a picture. In the midst of us taking pictures, we got pulled over, and the cop said I was still in cotton. So it was like this big fiasco. He totally just I grew up in a cop family, so I know my rights and I know protocol. He went above and beyond protocol and he did us wrong. I can't speak on it too much because I'm still fighting, because I think he needs to be fired. But I believe that something is going on in the United States. I'm not quite sure what it is, but every police department needs retraining. I understand that there's been a war on cops, so cops are scared. I'm not making excuses for what they do, but I will say that all cops aren't bad, but there's definitely something wrong with the training. And then when something goes wrong with the officer and he fucks up for some reason, the whole department covers up his bullshit, and I think the United States needs to stop letting them cover up their bullshit. It's a brotherhood. It's like the biggest KKK that you could ever be a part of in the world.
Sure, you just said there's a war on cops. What do you mean by that exactly? I've never heard that before.
There's definitely a war on cops. It might not have started hidden yet, but innocent cops they've been targets for years. There's things that never hit the news, and they blindside us with entertainment, and they blindside us with Kim Kardashian's ass, so that by the time things actually hit the news, people are confused. But if you read the newspaper and you're a little bit connected with the urban communities, you'll know some of the things that are happening.
So are you saying that, like, a lot of times they try to distract us with other shit?
They definitely try to. The media ain't shit but entertainment. And anybody who's grown who doesn't know that, I feel sorry for you as a person, because you're nothing but a puppet. and that's what they want you to be. This reality show bullshit, this Kim Kardashian bullshit, and I'm not mad at her because she's getting her money, but, you know, the biggest thing on the fucking news right now is LeBron James put his arm around fucking Kate Royalty, whatever her name is. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, yeah.
There's still a war.
About that?
Right. They're not talking about the war that's still going on. They're not talking about the men and the women who are dying right now in Iraq daily. They're not talking about the fact that our water, the ocean, is being contaminated from Japan and it's coming through the whole Pacific. They're not talking about that. Instead, they're telling you about LeBron hugging the royalty and Chris Brown cussing out his girlfriend on Twitter because she supposedly cheated. Who gives a fuck? You know, get out in those streets and watch the young men who are shooting at the police. Watch the police who are taking young, innocent black men, handcuffing them with the plastic handcuffs and dropping them off in the wrong neighborhood. This shit isn't new. It's been going on for years. The only difference is now we have something called Twitter. Now we have something called Instagram. Now we have something called Facebook. And the people who do know what's going on are posting about it, and the world is finding out. But it's still not your biggest news stories. Your biggest news stories is fucking LeBron hugging
Kate Middleton.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
You know?
Right,
I'm sorry. They're not my king and queen, so I don't fucking care. They don't even talk about black kings and queens like they don't exist. There's been black royalty in the world forever, since the world started.
I feel you on that 110%. I agree. I think the media does try to distract us with a lot of unimportant bullshit. I'm not too sure about the war on cops thing. I mean, I don't discount anything that you said. But I do feel like
war on cops and the war on black men, definitely.
Okay.
But I say that because I come from a cop family, so I know. I'm praying. My uncle he retires at the end of the month, and I just want him to get out of the department before they start shooting people. Do you remember that black man that was a cop who went crazy in L.A.?
Dorner?
Yes, they tried to make him off to be like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Please know that he knew some shit that they didn't want him to tell.
Damn.
Yeah, that's something to think about. Yeah.
Right.
Black men just don't go postal. But when you get to the point where your back is up against the wall, we all have that line. And when you cross that line, it's like, fuck it, I'm going hard or I'm going home. And he went home.
Hey, well, let's just make sure that you're safe. You know, motherfuckers hear Cherie Johnson talking all this shit, and they're like, okay,
I
you know
talk
what?
shit all the time.
Cherry's enlightening the masses as to what's going on. We got to shut our ass up real quick.
Shut it before I start talking about the FDA and the CDC, because I ain't fucking with them either.
So Cherry, who do you like in the government?
Right now I like Obama, but I don't know if he even really counts as a government. What most people don't realize, and people hate him, is all he is a spokesperson for the United States of America. He doesn't have as much power as everybody believes. He's just a man who got elected that read the speech that was written for him. He was a man who can fight for little things. They'll let him win little things here or there, just basically for them to condemn him. But he does not run America like people think that he does. So I like Obama because he's like me. He's an actor. If they hire me to be the spokesperson, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to talk about L'Oreal and say everything that they told me to say.
Wow, that's interesting. So I got a question then, because I agree with some of what you just said. I like the president. I do have my issues with the president at the same time. One of the issues that I have with him, though, is I feel like whenever he talks to black people, I feel like he's always talking down to us. Like, he did an interview on BET, I think last night, and he was interviewed by Jeff Johnson. They called him Cousin Jeff, something like that, the dude with the braids, like the Predator and shit. And so he's sitting there talking to the president or whatever, and I felt like Obama kept talking about peaceful protest. And there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue about what the police are doing to provoke unrest, what the police are doing a lot of times to agitate the citizens. Like, if you look at what happened in Ferguson, a lot of that reaction there was due to the fact that the police were out there harassing people, pointing rifles at folks, yelling at people, spitting at people.
Absolutely, but what Obama can't say is they want you to act like niggas. So if you go out there and you act like niggas, you're giving them just cause. So he has to be politically correct. See, Cherie Johnson can go out there and say, yo, they waiting for you to act like a nigga. It's like when I rock the red carpet. They say, bitch, what you doing out here? You ain't nothing but a child star. You washed up, because the media wants a reaction. That's what most people don't realize happens when people walk on the red carpet. So sometimes when you see a finger go up or a snide look, they got what they wanted, and that's a reaction. Obama can't say that. Cherie Johnson can. He is saying the nicest way that he can, don't act like niggas, because that's what they want. That gives them the just cause, and then we can't fight for you. But if you go out there and you act like you have some sense and you don't give them what they want, they can't do shit to you. So it's not that he's talking down, but he's under a microscope. And he can't even have a private conversation like that, because every private conversation he has, you better believe somebody is listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
What you said actually makes sense as far as the reaction, because even in the streets, okay, if you look at that Eric Garner video, right? They're sitting there stopping him, accusing him of shit, harassing him, and finally he's like, damn, why can't you just leave me alone? Why can't you just leave me alone, let me mind my business? Well, if they go and try to put some handcuffs on him after that, he's going to be irritated. So he's like, hold on a second. Stop. Hold on. Don't. And him not letting them handcuff him right away, that gives them the excuse to grab him, throw him down, put that illegal chokehold on his ass, and you can say, hey, well, look at what he was doing. No, look at what the fuck you did in the first place by approaching him and talking all that shit and trying to arrest him over some bullshit.
Right.
So
when
again,
I got stopped, the reason why they couldn't do that to me is because I knew my rights. My first thing is, what is your probable cause? When he tried to handcuff me, I got out of the car, I let him handcuff me, and then I asked him to please call the watch commander. Please call your superior officer before you go any further. I need a witness.
Okay.
Once they know that they call, you're asking for their superior officer or a watch commander, they have to call him. They have to call somebody. I will say this about my case, where the cop fucked up. Most people don't know the stuff that you look for. The first thing I did was I called the police station. I asked for an incident report. Every stop that a cop makes, there's a log of it. There has to be an incident report. The dumbass officer who stopped me didn't fill out an incident report because he wanted it to go away.
It's something. And I mean, after 400 years of slavery, what nigga in his right mind wants to steal cotton?
That's what I'm saying. But I had never seen it before, and he was like, how have you never seen cotton? I said, dude, I live in Malibu. There's no cotton in Malibu.
Oh, he probably thought you was an uppity nigger.
Oh, I was an uppity nigger. He wanted to know why I had money everywhere. I had $300 in my purse.
Wow.
And I knew.
So, Cherie, let me ask you this. Excuse me for this. So, if somebody's being pulled over by the police or being questioned by the police, what advice would you give them? What are some things they can say or should say, besides call your watch commander? How would you advise somebody to handle the situation?
First, know your rights and know the state's laws, because they're different in every state. People are doing the whole videotaping now, and I don't know exactly how far it's gone, but I know that Illinois is trying to make it a felony for you to tape an officer, which means they're trying to cut
shit.
Exactly.
Just because they don't want nobody to really see what the fuck they're doing, knowing they ain't supposed to be doing it.
And
okay, because this videotaping shit has exposed so many corrupt officers doing shit they ain't got no business doing, man.
Exactly. And they also, they want an excuse to arrest people, and now they're arresting you under a felony. You might be a law-abiding citizen who's never done anything wrong, but you see somebody being treated wrong, so you try to videotape it. Now they got you on a felony.
That's what they're trying to get that guy who videotaped the Eric Garner situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I saw another video recently, and this actually involved a young lady, where a cop walked up to her and said, show me your ID. And she was recording him. And she says, no, I don't have to show you my ID. What law is it that I have to show you ID? Was she right? This was actually in Texas.
She definitely is right, but you have to know, like in New York, they can do that. It's a stop and frisk law that they have in place. So if they don't have a stop and frisk law, they also were trying to do it in Arizona. So you have to know, by state, but it definitely is not legal. Like in California, they can't do that to me. I have to ask them, what is your probable cause? They have to give me a reason for the probable cause. If they come up with no probable cause or something that doesn't make sense, that's when you ask for the watch commander. They want to take up your time, you take up theirs.
Listen, I want to ask you a couple of questions real quick as switching gears again, two things I really want to discuss with you. One of them, you were going to play our 5 for 5, JayNJay's 5 for 5. I'll explain that to you in a second. But first, you mentioned earlier child stars, right? Mm-hmm. And what I like is that I haven't really seen a whole lot of bullshit when it comes to you, like I have, like a lot of these other young stars, or younger stars anyway, now growing up, such as Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, Miley Cyrus, all these motherfuckers always in the news for shit that's other than just performing. So what's your take on stars like that getting in trouble and getting involved in all kinds of bullshit?
Okay, they do get involved in a lot of bullshit, but when I was a kid, there was no paparazzi. So if there was some paparazzi, you'd have probably seen me throw up. You would have probably seen me drunk. You would have probably seen me cuss somebody out, maybe slap somebody. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you said, we all human.
Yeah, we do shit. And the difference is that everybody has somebody in their school who grew up to be a stripper. Everybody has somebody in their school who grew up to be on drugs. Everybody has somebody who grew up to be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a big deal. But for some reason, when kids on TV act out or they just do something, then it's the child star stigma. There is no child star stigma. People are fucking people. The difference is we're looked at under a microscope when everybody else just to go on and live their life.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a real good point.
It's growing pains, and people go, I hate the word child star, first off, because they call me the child star from Family Matters. Okay, when Family Matters ended, you guys, I was 20-fucking 5. Get over it.
It's a grown-ass woman, right?
Right.
Hey, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize, man, that you don't just act, you know, but you're a writer and a producer and shit like that as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And I will say, you know, people always like, well, which one do you like best? And I tell them acting is my passion. I call it my husband. That's the only marriage that I've had, probably the only marriage that I will have. When I got bored in my marriage, because being a child star, after a while, they want you to play the goody-goody girl. Who wants to do that forever? I was bored. So I started cheating on my husband with my mistor. Men have mistresses. I have a mistor. My mistor became producing. And through producing, I started getting bored again because I needed a new challenge. So I started writing, and that became my therapy. And I'll say the relationship with my therapist has helped the relationship with my mistor, which has made my marriage stronger.
All right.
Hey, Cherie, I want to take time real quick and thank you again for taking up this opportunity to speak with us and doing the show. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So I did have...
Appreciate you being real, too.
And that's you being real, absolutely.
Oh, I don't know how to be any other way, babe. I only get paid to act. I can't act when I'm not getting paid, and this is free, so.
JayNJay, edit the free stuff out. We don't want people thinking we broke and shit.
No, you do promotion.
No, I'm messing around. I'm being stupid. All right. So, but look, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is, because a good friend of mine is related to the nigga that played Waldo, and I don't know his real name.
His name is Sean Harris.
Sean Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sean Harrison. Okay.
Yeah.
And she was telling me how a couple of years ago, Waldo had come to the family reunion, and basically he was just a stuck-up ass the entire time he was there. He wouldn't speak to anybody. He wouldn't give out any hugs. Nigga would pass the potato salad like, nigga, I'm Waldo. I don't pass potato salad. He was just sitting there, you know, with his look on. And I was just curious, you know, is that the Waldo that you knew?
I think that when he got there, the motherfuckers must have screamed, yo, it's Waldo. And he was like, are you kidding me? This is supposed to be my family? Fuck these niggas. Because Sean is like the coolest person in the world. In fact, he's one of my best friends in the world. And I love him because he's always keeping it real. Now, if somebody was going to be stuck up, I'd say that was Jaleel all day. But if they called him Urkel, I guess. Hey,
very interesting.
Fired.
That's interesting considering because I heard Urkel, goddamn it, Urkel got arrested for whooping ass or something, didn't he?
Yep. Hey,
did he beat up his girlfriend or something?
Yeah, she should have did him like we used to do him. Bink, bink. If you hit him one or two times, he'll stop.
Oh, shit.
Y'all used to whoop Urkel ass?
Yes, you had to.
Oh, damn.
He was a little spoiled.
That nigga Urkel was nasty?
He didn't know when to stop playing. He stopped playing with me, though, quick.
Yeah, I bet.
But see, imagine.
That's one good time. Okay.
Imagine Maxine fucking hits Urkel in the eye. It would have been all over the media, fights on the set, all kind of drama.
Right.
There was no paparazzi then, so nobody knows.
Hey, JayNJay's show exclusive Cherie Johnson whip Urkel ass back in the day.
Yeah,
that's comedy to me.
When Waldo shows up to the family reunion, call him Sean. He won't seem like he's stuck up. He just don't want to play with y'all all the time.
That might have been what it is. I'm going to ask her, because I think that may have been the case. They might be like, hey, nigga, Waldo, shit, you know.
Because he's a really nice guy, but I will say that, like, people think I'm stuck up, too, because you'll be walking down the street and people be like, Maxine. Shit, I'm looking to see who the fuck they're calling. But I don't think they're calling me because that ain't my name.
Right. So what is Waldo? Are you in touch with the cast? You know, Reginald Johnson and Darius McCrary and all them? Do you still talk to the cast?
Darius and I talk every once in a while. In fact, we need to talk. December 15th is our anniversary. We used to have the same agent, and when we were kids, our agent had like a Christmas party every year, and he asked me to marry him at the Christmas party. And I said yes, which we were like 10, so it doesn't really matter. But we've never broken up, and that's our long-running joke. So you will see me on Twitter on the 15th telling him happy anniversary. No, we're not together, but, you know, it's our anniversary. Him, the guy who played Waldo, Sean, that we were just talking about, and Sean and I probably talk like every other day. And the little boy who played Little Richie, Brighton McClure.
The Jerry curl.
Not anymore. He cut all his hair off. He is bald, and he's a cutie.
Okay.
He's on the Young and the Restless now.
Oh, sure is. I think I did see that a little while back. Okay, cool. So, what do you have in the works right now? Are you working on anything new? Any movies coming out? Anything you're doing right now? I do have
a movie coming out with Little Mo, Antoine Tanner, and Marvin Sapp. It's called Who Can I Run To? And I play Trish. And it is a Christian-based movie, but I am not your little Christian girl.
All right, cool. And when is that coming out?
It should be out probably by spring.
Okay, and that'll be in theaters?
Exact date. I don't know. You know, they update you every once in a while, but they don't give you complete updates. We got to find out when the world finds out. A lot of people don't know that. They think we know everything, but we so don't.
Cool. And you also have the radio show, right, with Penny Hardaway and Chris Oakley?
Yeah, Charles Oakley, called The Bottom Line
Charles
Sports
Oakley, my
Show.
bad.
I do, and I haven't been there for a while. I was put on bed rest this year. I had a really, really bad pregnancy. So I'm just going to start going back to work in January.
Okay, cool. And what do you all talk about? You talk about just basketball, or do you spread it out?
No, we talk about all sports. In fact, I'm the NFL girl because that is my sport. But we go from NASCAR to golf to basketball, football, everything.
And who was your pick for the Super Bowl?
I would love my Steelers to go, but, you know, it's another story.
Not going to happen. Not this year.
I know. Fucking Ben. Ben needs to get back in the bathroom and fuck some bitches and get me back to the Super Bowl.
There you go. Hey, listen, Cherie Johnson, love having you on. Appreciate you being here. Anything you want to say to your fans and your listeners?
Yo, I just want to say, you know, I love you guys. Thank you for your support. And I'm your age. I'm not a child. We're the same age. We grew up together. So let me grow up. When you see me and I'm doing some sex scenes or shooting some heroin on camera or something, don't be shocked. I grew up too, and I want to play different things. So
damn, I like that.
Yeah, I think you guys will be shocked too with some of the stuff you're going to see me doing. It's
any nude scenes?
What do you consider nude? Like tits and all?
Tits and all, yeah. Ass,
nah,
nipples.
they're going to have to pay for those.
All right, cool.
They're going to have to pay per nipple, you know what I'm saying? And per nipple's going to have to change my life.
What is the starting rate?
What is the starting rate? 500,000.
Yeah, $500,000 per nipple.
Yeah, you want to
you have it.
You want to see these Hershey nipples? Let's 500,000 a piece. We can work that out.
Good night.
You know, they tried to say that I was doing Playboy too a few years back. I hope nobody was holding their breath because they're dead now. No. It was just TMZ was bored and needed a story, and I think one of my old friends was broke and needed to pay their rent. So they released a picture of me on the beach in Miami and said I was in Malibu 3 years later and I was doing like a test shoot for Playboy, which is so not true. I did the cover of Ocean Drive magazine, and in fact, inside have a cute little spread with Luther Campbell.
Wow. Okay. That's all interesting stuff. Now, where can your fans get in touch with you at?
I'm a Twitterholic. You can always hit me up at Cherie, Cherie Johnson 75. If the 75 not there, it's not me, and I'm on Facebook a lot. I do have an Instagram account, but I don't really know how to use it, So I'm not even going to lie and say that I'm on it. One of the girls in my office updates it like once every 3 months.
All right, so you're definitely on Twitter a whole lot. I'm sure that our fans will probably be able to get a link to this show also, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, we do definitely appreciate you being on the show, and we appreciate you keeping it real and being open. We like that. A lot of people are worried about what they can and cannot say, and they want to keep certain shit, to themselves. But so far, you've been pretty damn open, and I like it, and hopefully we can have you on again.
I would love to come back. And you guys, they did ask me, is there anything you won't talk about? And I told them, no, ask me anything.
Listen, before we get started officially, I do want to ask, is there anything that's off limits that you don't want to talk about, or are you pretty much, cool about everything? Because Elena said you was real cool, like, hey, she talks just like us. So
yeah, you can ask me anything you want to ask me. Whether you get the answer you want is a whole other story.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, all right. Okay, so there may be certain things that you're not willing to answer, but we can ask whatever.
You can ask whatever you want, sweetie. I can't just come out and be like, oh, I'm not going to answer that. But if you say, like, you cheated on your dude lately and I don't want to get caught, I might be like, what do you mean cheating?
All right, good. Hey, put it like this. I wouldn't ask you nothing that would fuck up your current relationship, but I may ask you shit about the past.
It's cool because I'm single, so you can ask whatever you want.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Good.
Oh, by the way, make sure you grab a copy of Cherie's books. She has a few different books, actually, Around the World Twice, the Stupid Guy's Diary, which really should be, that should be a fucking fantastic read. If it's anything like some of the stories that she's already shared here, you kind of get an idea as to what not to do if you are ever going to be going on a date with a celebrity. And, a lot of times guys don't really understand how to approach them or what the hell to talk about. So maybe read that would kind of give them some ideas as to what not to do.
Absolutely. And if you want to know what really goes on in Cherie's mind and what kind of role I would love to play, check out my book, Peaches and Cream.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite.
Okay, that's your favorite. All right, cool. Yeah, because I was going to ask you which one was your favorite anyway, so
yeah,
I'm glad you actually told us.
I mean, Stupid Guy Diaries is totally my life, so that's not fun. But Peaches and Cream is a stretch of my imagination. And I always say, people say, oh, are you Peaches? And I say, no, I'm not Peaches, because that bitch does shit that would have me in prison for the rest of my life. But you can't write about what you don't know. And I think that most of the time my audience is shocked that that story would even come from me.
Hey, JayNJay Show, Power 109 Cherie Johnson. We appreciate you coming on. And
the beautiful, sexy Cherie Johnson.
Right. Who will be doing beautiful and sexy roles. No more of that Punky Brewster and Family Matters shit. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to see her nude, but, you might see her perform that blowjob up under the, watch out for those roles and you'll see.
And know something, too. This is real motherfucking acting, not video whole bullshit.
Right.
This is real thespian shit.
Absolutely. There's no airbrushing here either.
Oh, okay. All natural. You hear that shit?
No airbrushing, no fake tits. I don't have a weave.
And Cherie got a big old ass, and it's real.
I have no ass.
Cherie got junk. Y'all niggas are sleeping out there.
They're clowning me now. No booty, baby. No booty.
Hey, she's just being modest. Hey, JayNJay Show, Power 109. Hey, more coming up.